got a bag and a card for you that I'm gonna get before you leave today. I have it in the car. I know. I'll get it to you.
Recording in progress.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm doing a presentation for my grandson at his school at 10 o'clock. So that was my priority thing. Yeah. Got the little gallery and stuff like that for his classmates. That's taking priority tomorrow. So.
I tell Valerie every time, I have a standing call every Thursday. That time. Get on my retainer and then I might go to that.
Oh, yeah. Remind him of that. We're getting ready to have our first.
Yeah.
My first.
No, I always miss this. I know.
It's a life changer, so
I can't right now. It's gonna be awesome. Firefighters. That's a good thing. Every night.
Yeah, that's good. How you been?
Just show my road. I see. Let's get it going.
This guy out here.
You inspired me, pal.
We can just all stand here and look at him.
Can you sign a proclamation, please?
Yeah.
It's
Do you want to give it to her?
Mark Joseph to the dais.
Or do you want me just to give it?
She's gonna be here, right?
Yeah, Pam is.
Okay, it's Pam.
You can't even hear it.
And then I was gonna take a picture with her after we do it. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Because Laura's not here, so I'll take it.
Okay. Gotcha.
They're signing something.
Board friendly.
Okay. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Good evening, everyone. I apologize for being a little tardy. I will call to order this regular American Canyon Fire District, Fire Protection District meeting for February 24th, 2026. I invite everyone to stand as we say our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Board Member Cruz?
Here.
Board Member Lamatina?
Here.
Board Member Oro?
Here.
Vice Chair Joseph?
Here.
And Chair Washington?
Here. A report on closed session, confirmation of reportable action. David? Where'd he go? No?
He was right here, yeah.
Yeah, you're up, David, for the report on closed session and confirmation of reportable actions.
Yes, so I will do a written report from closed session, and that will be included in the next meeting packet.
Thank you, David. Proclamations and presentations. We have no presentation. We have one proclamation, and I'll read that. I think, Pam, are you going to be the recipient of the proclamation for this evening? I'll read it, and then I'll allow you an opportunity to kind of share some thoughts with us. Reading. The American Canyon Fire Protection District Proclamation. Proclamation the month of February 2026 in the American Canyon Fire Protection District as American Heart Month. Whereas sudden cardiac arrest is one of the leading causes of death in the United States, claiming hundreds and thousands of lives each year. And whereas survival from sudden cardiac arrest depends on immediate action, including early recognition, prompt activation of emergency medical services, high-quality rescue CPR, and rapid defibrillation with a automatic external defibrillator, AED. And whereas communities that are heart safe are those in which residents are trained in CPR, AED, and readily available in public places. And emergency response systems are coordinated to promote timely or provide timely life-saving care. And whereas public education and awareness about heart health, cardiac risk factors, and emergency response can significantly reduce preventable deaths and improve outcomes of cardiac arrest victims. And whereas the American Canyon Fire Protection District is committed to protecting the health and safety of the community through emergency response, prevention education, and partnership that promote preparedness and resilience. Whereas in 2025, the American Canyon Fire Protection District educated community members, including high school freshman students, on hands-only CPR. This method, recommended by the American Heart Association, can greatly increase the chance of survival in treating adults. And whereas the American Canyon Fire Protection District continues to work to make where their citizens live, work, shop, and play heart safe. A community where the link of the chain of survival are in place. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Pierre Washington, Chair of the Board of the Directors of the American Canyon Fire Protection District, hereby proclaim the month of February 2026 as American Canyon Heart Month, and urge all residents, businesses, and organizations to learn the warning signs of cardiac distress, become trained in CPR and AED use, support the placement and maintenance of AED in public places, promote heart-healthy lifestyles, work together to strengthen community readiness to respond to cardiac emergencies.
Thank you. Thank you. I always like to start meetings out with, the housekeeping part of the world. You guys already know where the bathrooms are and all that kind of stuff, and if you have to dial 9 or whatever to get a phone call out, but also to include the fact that there's an AED here in this room so that we know where that AED or the closest AED is when we are put into the situation of needing it for some kind of cardiac arrest response. American Canyon, as I was just talking to some of our CERT's members, has been working with us at the county level and with me at the Queen of the Valley's Heart Safe program for, it seems like a long, long time, huh? And so I appreciate your continued support of this program. I can tell you that we know nationwide our survival from cardiac arrest is still about 10%. It's been pretty consistently 10% for quite some time now. I think it might have gone to 11, but we're not making great strides. But here in Napa, we are looking at more like 35 to 40. So be very proud that that's the case. We are doing a lot with the help of CERT and other people to what I say is change a culture. So we know that we adults, as older people, tend to, in the situation where there's a cardiac arrest, when someone collapses or is in some kind of emergency, we have a tendency to step back. That's just the way we behave. And while that makes me sad, we are working very hard through this valley to train 5th graders, 7th graders, and 9th graders in not only what a cardiac arrest looks like to recognize it, but to also know to call 911, to push hard and fast in the center of the chest doing hands-only CPR, and to shock, so call, push, shock, knowing that there's an AED, that they are capable of using that AED, as we all are, and to have them learn to recognize where they are, where they're located near them. And we feel very strongly, I think we trained over almost 6,000 people in 2025 in hands-only CPR and how to use an AED, with the help of CERT, definitely. And that's 5th, 7th, and 9th, plus community members as well. American Canyon does a lot of that on your, what do you call them, nights out? But what do you have? You have a community.
National Night Out.
National Night Out, but you have Meet Me in the Streets. That's the one, that Meet Me in the Streets. You're doing a lot of work to keep your heart safe certification. And I just want to say personally, I appreciate all that goes on here in this community. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
And we're going to come up, take a picture with you, give the proclamation.
darn long time. And so it's always fun to be a part of someplace that's really, really working hard to change and to have people say, can I say one more thing?
Of course, of course, of course.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys know I have a hard time shutting up about this stuff.
But you should be at a microphone, so the
Yes,
rest of
everybody can hear you.
that might just be an enabling.
I can do that. My meeting just before this meeting was with the Queen of the Valley's Hospitals Foundation. And we, the Queen's Heart Safe program has been, as part of that foundation, we have been offered a fairly good chunk of change, a lot of money. So we will be starting out sort of on a new program. Not that AEDs are new to me, they're not, you know that. We will be putting them in 15 schools. Our elementary schools that do not have AEDs will be receiving an AED on their property, as will the one middle school that doesn't have one, and then an elementary school in Angwin. So the Napa Valley Unified School Districts at the elementary level that do not have them will get them. The middle school who doesn't have one will get one, and then Angwin's elementary school will also. The difference will be that these will be outside of the school property. They will not be locked. They will not be behind a door. They will not be behind a gate. They will be open to the public, ready to be used by the community that lives around that school, not just the individuals who are visiting that school that day or who work in that school that day, or the students who are there. So this is a little bit, it's exciting, but it's a little bit different in that they will be available 24 hours a day, not locked, ready to go, in heated, ventilated, lit cabinets. We're going to do a lot of education around how to use them. So awareness is important, and this is what all this is about, that people know, oh my gosh, someone drops. You're supposed to say, are you okay, are you okay? If they don't respond, you say, call 911, push hard and fast in the center of the chest, go get an AED. That's all lovely, but how do we make that stat go to 70, which is what it is at Seattle, is action. And so we're really looking for, how do we talk our community into knowing that that AED is at a school? And hopefully the middle school ones will go out to the outside, the high school ones will go out to the outside. Pretty soon, if this program moves forward the way it's planned, we'll have you know if you need an AED, it's outside your school. Okay, so if you live 2 blocks away or you live 2 houses away, you know where it is, okay? And that's how we get there, is awareness, yes, but action. People have to take them out of the cabinet.
Yeah.
It only happens about 10% of the time nationwide. When there's an arrest and an AED, it still doesn't come out of the cabinet. So that's the next big change that we have to make in this valley, is that AEDs we have to be comfortable using them. We have to take them out of the cabinet. So I'll shut up now. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. I think Councilmember Lamattina has a question for you.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Is there still that app called, I think it was called Pulse?
Pulse Point.
Okay. I need to put that back on my phone.
And that's the way we get action, right? Is that if you all download Pulse Point, if you all agree to participate in the CPR portion of that, when a call comes into 911 and it's for a potential cardiac arrest, potential cardiac arrest, and police is sent, fire is sent, ambulance is sent, that same information goes to the Pulse Point app. It then looks to see if there's anyone within 1,000 feet of that victim. And if there is, it alerts that individual or individuals. There could be 6, there could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 26 or whatever we have in here. We could all get an alert. We would respond to someplace very close. 1,000 feet's not very far away. And even with, even here, as with response times being as good as they are, by your police, by your fire, ambulance itself, we would be there first. We're just closer. It's time and space. And if you were to start CPR, if we were all here, hopefully you would grab that AED and come with me, right? And then we would have CPR started. We would have an AED probably on and a shock on before even our fire department could get to us. And it's the time, from the time they collapse to the time they receive that first shock is what determines whether they live or die. So from the time you collapse to the time that shock is provided, the sooner it is, the more likely you'll survive. And that's why we want AEDs in places where people gather, is so that people will take them off the wall, put them on, and save them. The gentleman who has donated to the foundation that's very involved in this, that's basically supporting this big rollout of these new AEDs, is a cardiac arrest survivor in 2024, I apologize, one of the two. He was at Orange Theory, okay, and collapsed. And his trainer, who he was working with right then, the trainer was working with he and his wife, recognized, obviously, he collapsed right in front of him. You call 911 to the other individual in the business, went and grabbed the AED, came back, put it on, shocked him, and he was alive before police, fire, and ambulance arrived, because it was within seconds. And that's how it works best. So we'll see if we can keep doing that. Yeah. All
Thank
right.
you, Pam.
Any other questions?
No other questions?
Actually, Justin is on the line with his hand up, but he just left. Justin
Oops.
Hull?
Hi, Justin. I haven't seen Justin in a little while.
He may have been prepping for the public comment.
Okay,
So thank you again, Pam.
sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
At this time, I'd like to open public comment for any items that are not on tonight's agenda. Do we have any speaker cards?
Justin? Chair Justin Hull has returned.
Okay. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Peter Washington. One comment, two comment. I want to say thank you to our guest speaker who come today, and I think I remember her because I think I describe her because I am the Cohen member now for Cohen. I think she was guest speaker at the Cohen meeting at the L Club. Thank you for coming. The second thing is I think I remember I talked to the city clerk for her department, city clerk, American the city clerk. If she can email me some point this week, and I can be on the email agenda list, so I can have agenda, so I can put it on the Zoom link. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Justin. I'll make sure that happens. Any other public comment? Seeing
No-
none in the room?
no, Chair.
No one else online. I'll close public comment and return to the council. For any agenda changes.
If there aren't any, and I'll make a commentary on consent item 7, declaring the 2004 American LaFrance fire engine as surplus. I remember when we bought the thing, so it's just another commentary. It's a sign I may become surplus soon. Other than that, I will make a motion that we approve the consent calendar.
I'll second.
We have a second. Madam Clerk, we get a roll call, please?
Board Member Cruz?
Yes.
Board Member Lamatina?
Yes.
Board Member Oro?
Yes.
Vice Chair Joseph?
Yes.
Chair Washington?
Yes. Moving to public hearing, we do not have any items on public hearing this evening. Business items, we have one item, number 9, communication or Community Emergency Response Team, the CERT. Chief, will you be presenting on that?
Yes. There we go. So we have a report that you guys have in your files there for the CERT. Just kind of going back to open this, we received a request from a board member to give us an update on the Community Emergency Response Team, the program, and where it was at. The recommendation was to receive and file the report regarding CERT utilization activities and ongoing support that you have in front of you. Some of the things discussed why this item is before you. In October was, I believe it was Board Member Cruz kind of brought it up to speaking with CERT representatives to basically address the level of calls and deployments that have dropped since 2021. The staff reviewed the deployment history and the policy guidance and the district's support to provide a clear and factual update, which is what you have in front of you today. We reached out to CERT to give us some of the information. Looking at some of the trends, CERT was utilized. The utilization has declined significantly, as you can see on page, I think it was the first page of your report, since 2021. 2021, 2022 showed high usages due to the vaccine clinics and the pandemic-related issues. And when you look at 2023, the deployment hours have been minimal, and in 2025, there were no records of deployments. This decline reflects a return to normal operations and fewer incidents requiring CERT activation. not necessarily a reduction of district support. A policy and operational role, looking at CERT is designed for large-scale emergencies when first responders are overwhelmed. It is not intended for the routine fire response or the day-to-day operations. The district policy does clarify that CERT primarily supports law enforcement with functions such as traffic control rather than direct fire operations. As the policies have been clarified and applied consistently, deployment opportunities with the fire district have just naturally decreased. 2025's content, there were no CERT deployments that occurred in 2025. The CERT was invited to participate in our open house as they always are in years prior. They declined this year. And the district support to CERT, we've always been a big supporter of CERT. We've continued to actively support them in readiness and training. The support includes district facilities and training grounds and meetings, storage of the CERT equipment on district property, training classroom technology updates. When they ran into issues with the TV, we made sure we bought a smart TV that was fit for them to log into and conduct their training so that it was sufficient. Access to the district CERT vehicle, and then one of the things we started in the last year was enrollment into an IEC training program, a reimbursement program. It's a tag off of our program that we work with a local college to submit our training hours, and then we get paid a certain amount based on those training hours. We were able to roll that into CERT so that when they submit their training hours that they actually receive funding as well. I don't have what that number was off the top of my head right now, though. Oh, sorry, my rib just flinched again. So if you see me flinch, those on the board understand I have a rib issue. So if you see me flinch, I've been having muscle spasms, so I apologize. The CERT has conducted ongoing training throughout 2025 to include disaster communications, medical operations, search and rescue and cribbing, GIS and incident command structure. And they have at least, it provided us documentation to have at least 171.5 documented training hours that were submitted from the beginning of August 2025 to the end of the year, with additional earlier training conducted but not fully documented. So if you figure that was the last 5 months of the year, the first 7 months was probably close to double that, I would assume. But we don't have that documentation. So some of the takeaways is the reduced deployment hours are due to incident demand and appropriate policy alignment, not lack of district support. The district continues to support the CERT's mission of preparedness, training, and community resilience. And CERT remains a very valuable, and CERT remains available and can be activated when a qualifying emergency and disaster occurs. So basically, in closing, with the report, the staff recommends that the board file this informational report, and we are committed to continue supporting CERT and engaging in their program and their operational.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Campbell. Are there any clarifying questions from the board before I open it for public comment? Public comment first. Seeing none, I'll open item number 9 for public comment for anyone. Are there any comment cards?
No cards, but.
No cards? Mary?
Hello, thank you. And I do want to thank the board for your support. What's that?
We need to find out who you are for the ones who are watching that may not know who you are.
Mary Helms, Director, American Canyon CERT. I'd like to thank the board for your support and the use of the facilities at 225 James and allowing us to have our conics there for storage. I just want to do some clarification. I'm going to start with the open house. Yes, we typically do partake in the open house. Open house is known about for quite some time. However, we did not get an invite for that open house until the day after Brando asked for the board, for the chief to come back to the board. The next day, which was September 24th, is when we got the invite. And the open house was on the 4th, so we had already had plans and we did not have the opportunity to be able to partake. That is the reason that we declined. As far as hours go, our hours didn't decline just because of, our hours didn't increase and then decline because of COVID. We started as a board in 2017. We were pretty much official with the team in 2018. And in 2018 for American Canyon, we had 136 hours. In 2019, we had 947 hours. Now, this is prior to COVID-19. In 2020, we had 391 hours. That was the, towards the end was the start of the COVID. So October through December was COVID. And then, of course, 21, 22 was COVID. There was a time that American Canyon CERT did all the community events. We did everything for Parks and Rec. We did the 4th of July parade, we did the tree lighting, we did the Easter, we did trunk or treat, we did s'mores and meteors. I mean, you named it, we did it. And for some reason, as you can see, at the end of 2023, all of that stopped. So I would just like to make it known to the board, to the public, to the community, to Parks and Rec. American Canyon CERT is trained, is ready, and is willing to serve this community.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Any other comments?
Yes, Justin is raised his hand.
Okay. Hi, Justin.
Hi, really quick. This is not comment. I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm on a client advisor. Client advisor means NBRC North Bay. We're going to have a big conference on April 10th, 11 a.m. to 12:30. It can be lunch. I had a paper sheet. I just sent that paper sheet to Melissa House, and she will pass that to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Yes, Jason, I'll get that invite to them.
Anyone else online?
No, Chair.
Okay, I'll close. Yes.
Good evening, Beth Marcus here with the American Canyon CERT team. I just want to thank the fire department for always being there to support us. We get to train with them so that when there is a disaster, we can train together, we can work together well. We just went through an extensive training on Saturday at the college. It was a 3-4 hour training. We did cribbing and we did Better Impact, which is a reporting thing for us, and we also did head-to-toe assessment. I was a victim. I'm always a victim. I'm small, yeah, so they use me for everything. But anyhow, I just want to let everybody know we do train monthly, quarterly, and as a group, as all of the CERT team in the county, we also do it annually. We come up with a big disaster type of thing. But I do want to thank the fire department for always being there to support us. They're great, and again, you know, with us being able to train with them, they know how we work, we know how they work, and it's just great. And Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you, Beth. Pam?
Pam Dodson. As I acknowledged many times during my conversation and acceptance of the proclamation, these guys have been really helpful, AMR and our Queen of the Valley Heart Safe program within the schools. I think if we didn't have them there, and sometimes we would probably be having a 911 call at that school because I'd be hurting Jessica or she'd be hurting me. Or he'd be hurting a student, I don't know. It gets ugly when you have 100 5th graders or 100 7th graders in a single space, and these guys are what keep it all flowing. So I'm glad you support them, and I thank them for all that they do. And I hope you count our hours.
Good evening, Powell Helms. I am the current program manager for Napa Valley CERT program, so I am in charge of all the CERT programs throughout Napa County. I am the original director of American Canyon CERT and still am a member of American Canyon CERT. I live here in American Canyon. You know, American Canyon has always been the leader in the CERT program. Everybody followed what we were doing. And I want to see that continue. They're still the shining star, and I don't want that to tarnish at all. I want to bring the rest of our groups up to this level of training. And it's only possible with all the support we get through the fire department, the firefighters. Nobody's ever told us no. So, I mean, I just want that to continue. I'm no longer leading the American Canyon CERT, but I'm still part of the team. So I just appreciate you all, and we're ready to go to work when it's time to go to work. So, thank you.
Thank you, pal. If there's no more public comment, I'll close public comment, return back to the council for any clarifying questions or comments. I'll add one real quick thing. I just want to say that from my time in American Canyon, I've always appreciated seeing you guys out there, in your uniforms, nicely and bright. We get a lot of good comments about your presence, and I really value the fact that you guys are volunteering your time to serve our community. It's all about service, and each one of you have done a great job. So I just want to say thank you. And I will do whatever's in my power to try to see if we could utilize you a little bit more to get you a little bit more visibility. I just want to say thank you. Councilmember Cruz.
Yeah, thank you, Chair.
Board
And
Member Cruz.
thank you, Chief, for that extensive report. Just want to say, looking out at the crowd, I do see some pillars of our community, the former mayor, former First Lady, just a bunch of friends here that I've known and grown to really like and love through the years being here in American Canyon. One thing I do know is that we did utilize them quite a bit back in the day. In fact, my wife is part of this team too, but unfortunately she had prior commitments, so she couldn't be here tonight. But she, of course, sends her regards. I just wanted to know that we want to utilize these passionate pillars of our community and not let that go to waste. So again, please utilize CERT, as the best we can. And it's not about the why, why we're not using it more, but let us use this team. Because you see them showing up in numbers here, and I don't want to see that go to waste. So again, thank you, Mary, Powell, Leon, all the names here. I'm horrible with names, but thank you all for doing what you do. Thank you, Chief.
Vice Chair Joseph.
Yes. First, I want to thank the chief for the report and the information, and the CERT peoples for coming up and providing their input. And I want to echo Board Member Cruz's comments. CERT is an incredible asset. We're lucky to have them. Obviously, we're, the shining star, as pointed out. So that's something to be proud of. And I get the implication that board policy, maybe not necessarily fire district, but city and law enforcement, is somehow constraining the active use. And so I guess what I'm suggesting is we probably ought to revisit whatever those policies are, and figure out, to echo Director Cruz, figure out a way to better utilize an incredible asset. There are a lot of organizations that don't have a lot of volunteers and desperately need them. It just seems crazy to me that if we have an incredible asset and we just say, okay, we'll use you when it hits the fan, so to speak, that's important. But on a day-to-day basis, I think there's a lot of other opportunities. And maybe what we need to do is look through the organization, both city and district, to figure out ways to better utilize CERT. And if there's some kind of policy constraint, that's probably something this board or the same people wearing our other hats can address, and probably ought to. And so if there is a takeaway or a consensus I'd like to throw out, we should probably look at whatever it is that represents that policy constraint that took hours from, 3 digits down to 1 digit, and figure out how we can better utilize an asset that we have here in the community.
Board Member Oral.
So I'm confused. It seems like to me that CERT is an emergency response team that actually has to be called for emergency needs. And I was there at the beginning when Pal and Mary started the CERT team. It was the 2017 fires. And I remember sending them at ACHS when we activated that as Emergency Operations Center. And it was like, it was just them two. And I was like, have you guys done this before? We have not. But they were trained in terms of that. And it was a big deal. And unfortunately, we had disaster after disaster after disaster from 2017, including COVID. I actually read the report differently, not as one of non-participation, but as of a blessing of not having actual emergencies. And so hearing Board Member Joseph and Board Member Cruz talk about this sounds like there was almost an abuse of the asset that we have. It just seems weird to me. To me, I absolutely love this team. Like, they were the first, particularly Powell and Mary, just spending that time with them through probably the biggest disaster Napa County has had in years, and getting to know them over the years. I still think fondly of that moment and the year after that and all that. But to me, just, am I missing something here that is not an appropriate use of CERT, or do we want to add them to do more? Do they want to do more? What am I missing here? I don't get it.
I'll get to you in a second, Board Member Lamartina. But I think what I'm hearing, Board Member Oral, is the fact that we have a group of volunteers that want to be utilized a little bit more. And although they are CERT, and from a law enforcement background, I've always been one to believe that we should do things to deter whatever crimes may happen, or to deter bad situations. And sometimes just a presence of a group speaks volumes, even in an emergency situation. What comes to mind for me is a Meet Me in the Street or a National Night Out, just to show, we don't have an emergency, but we're using our emergency equipment to go around to show people that we do have trained people. These folks here, they're also trained. For Meet Me in the Street, I think that's important to show the community that we do have a force that you can volunteer to give back. And I think what the CERT team is asking for is not so much that we need to have an emergency for them to be activated, but to show that we have the ability to respond to something of that nature. So it's not an underuse or overuse of the CERT. I think that this group, and they've spoken to me individually, that they have a passion. And to Vice Chair Joseph's point is that when you have a lot of community groups out here and we try to get volunteers and it's so difficult to get them, we have one that's organized, that looks good, that's willing to be out there. Why not use them to give them that visibility? And I think that's the point. So hopefully whatever you might be missing, that might answer some of those questions. I'm not sure if any CERT member have reached out to you, but they most definitely have reached out to me. Well, let me finish with the boards, and I'll give you guys an opportunity again. Board Member Lamartina.
Ditto. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, we need you out there. We need to know your faces, your uniform. We need you present in our community. And I think being out at the 4th of July, Meet Me in the Street, it's extra training as well. And I appreciate you. And yeah, exactly what this guy right here, Mr. Washington, said. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
Yeah, and I'll add to Mary's comment earlier that, not Mary, but Pam's comment earlier, that, cardiac arrest is another thing. Each one of you guys are trained in that. Just the simple fact of being out at our public events tell me that we have extra eyes out there that could respond. Although our fire department is amazing. You guys are there and lickety quick. But then have the CERT team out there and knowing that a CERT team member could come out and respond and not just take a step back in an emergency situation, it's comforting. So Mary, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go back up and make your statement.
Just to be clear, CERT nationally, yes, we are an emergency team, we are a disaster team, but nationally, we also do community events. That, like you stated, helps us stay trained, helps us be ready for when those emergencies come. Without that additional training or doing the events to provide the additional training and communications between the teams, we're not going to be as prepared during an emergency or during a national disaster. It is nationwide that CERT is used for more than just emergencies and national disasters. That's all. Just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you, Mary. And question real quick while we have you at the mic. It's my understanding that you guys will also go to homes and kind of show people some of the things in their homes, what they could be doing to keep their homes safe or in case of emergencies and stuff
Yes, we
like that,
can.
training and stuff like that,
Yes.
that you guys have done in the past as well.
And when we did PSPS, we went into people's homes and helped them out. Yes.
Thank you.
If I may
Any question? Oh,
add something, everybody said a lot of good things. And I agree with Board Member Oro as far as we've been very fortunate the last couple years of not having any. Yeah, please knock on wood. I didn't even want to say that because of that. I'm a little superstitious too. Oh, sorry, Rib. Don't make me laugh. We are very fortunate that we haven't had any disasters here. But what I do want to acknowledge is the CERT team, when there is something going on, and predominantly it's north of us in the north part of the county, like the Pickett Fire, they are deployed and they are on the road faster than I thought they'd be on the road. We get a phone call saying, hey, we're being deployed, and they're there. And I was standing there with Chief Prettyman when you called and said, just let us know if you need anything. Do you need to take the car? What do you need? And they're like, we're good. We'll get up there and figure it out. So they are fast on their deployment, and we acknowledge that and we admire that, and we thank you very much. So we are good. We are blessed that our disasters have declined. One of the things we did with the updated policy, though, was we also realized that the disaster service worker insurance that they get for being CERT members doesn't cover a lot of those events. So these guys went out and got their own insurance, and that's part of the policy. They have their own insurance so that all they need to do when they have these events that don't fall within the disaster service worker guidelines, they can still do these events and still do these part of trainings that don't fall under the insurance part, with just signing a waiver from the district basically saying that they're releasing the district because it's not a disaster service worker event, but their insurance company takes it, and I applaud them for doing that. So I think you had mentioned it earlier too. We probably just maybe need a little bit more support from the board and the council on talking to some of these other city groups that they've participated in before in the past and that are out of our control when another organization, for whatever reason, if it was a police involved issue with traffic, or if it was just the group itself decided no longer utilize CERT, maybe we can have a little bit more support from you guys to get them back in the mix if that's the case.
you mentioned about a policy update. Was it recently updated?
Yeah, a couple,
Okay.
2 years now.
Okay, and do we get a copy of that update, the board?
I can get you a copy.
If you would, I'd appreciate that.
That one
And-
was already sent, but I'll get you a copy.
Okay, and then I just wanted, because what I'm looking for is like the activation piece of it, who approves them? Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, he can. He's got the whole county.
Yeah, I was gonna say, director of the county.
So the way the activation works is we are one team of many. So there's 5 teams throughout the whole county. So obviously the fire department could activate us, the police department could activate us, you guys could activate us, the county could ask. Basically what they're asking for is mutual aid. So the CERT program here in Napa County has a mutual aid agreement amongst the teams. So you're not just getting American Canyon CERT. We have about 85 what we call Tier 1 members. They're on teams, training monthly, quarterly. They're keeping their hours up. They're all DSW. They're ready to go right? We're spread out all over the county. So that's how we get activated. And then with like public events, that's like in the past, the Parks and Rec would just call us and say, hey, we're doing snow day. We're going to have these roads blocked off. Do you guys want to man it? Of course, we're going to say yes, because that helps us train with communications, organization. We're extra set of eyes, like you mentioned earlier. We're medically trained to be there till the first responders show up, and we train with them, so we speak the language. I mean, we're gonna. It's a known asset.
But to that point, if a community group requests for CERT, is there an approval process that it has to go through?
Well, I could speak to, yes, there is. Okay. So Mary would get it. She would go up to Battalion Chief Prettyman, and I run it up the chain of command.
Okay.
At the county level, if they would it goes through the county. So American Canyon is unique, like I've already said. We have our own insurance. We also have insurance at the county level. We're like double covered, triple covered. So, and the county has adopted the same insurance we got. That's what the county has. So.
Okay, well, that's good. I'd like to see the policy when you get a chance and just get an opportunity.
I would like to say, we don't do anything unless we have authorization. We're not going to go out and just do something, because that's the easiest way to get a program shut down, and we know that. So we're not rogue. We get frustrated sometimes because we can't do something, but like there was an event up Valley, and they wanted us to basically close Highway 29 off and on to get pedestrians. No, that's not that. That's highway patrol, right? So, I mean, we know what our lane is, and we stay in it, but we won't say no to anything. I mean, exactly. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Any other questions from the board? Seeing none,
I think this is the other area. Traffic control seems to have been a role that CERT played a lot more, that wouldn't necessarily be an emergency or disaster. It's just, here's a big event, we need traffic control. Where did it break down that you used to do that and now you aren't? Or more to the point, if you guys aren't doing traffic control, who is? Yes.
Powell can more or less answer that, but I just want to let you know that a lot of times, I don't think you know or realize how much training we go through, but we just went through traffic management, fire training with the police department. Sheriff's Department, yeah, and we did like a 3-4 hour training on that. So we are trained all the time with different things. Maybe we should let you know what we're trained in, but we are desperately trained in so many various ways. So I just wanted to let you know that we just went through that training again.
Thank you.
So to answer your question about why we stopped doing it for the police department, I can only tell you what I was told. When we were doing the high school, the officer that we were doing it with and for informed us that the police department was informed not to use American Canyon CERT anymore. That's all I can tell you. And ever since then, we have not been used. I would love to go back to doing work with the police department. We did a lot of work with the police department. When the car hit that power pole down there, we did major traffic control for that. I don't think they would have, it would have taken a lot of officers to do what we did. So we are definitely trained. I don't know why we were told that they couldn't use us, but that's what happened.
We'll look into it. Thanks, Mary. If there's no other public comment, no other comment from the board, I just go ahead. This is a file and report document, and we'll get the policy so we can kind of like review it. Okay, thank you.
I was just going to say, Martha's quick. It's already on its way.
Okay. Well, then I'll close item number 9 as a reading file, and then I'll move on to the fire chief's oral reports.
Okay. Couple little things that we have going on. As you guys are aware, we had a collaboration with the membership to send one of our members to paramedic school. Firefighter Kyle Murchison has officially started paramedic school. He passed, it's been a couple meetings since we've had one, so you guys hadn't got the information, but he passed the interview process, the testing, everything he needed to get into the school, and he started early January. So he's got a long road ahead of him, and I think we're all here for him. So to help him out and be successful in that program, and he's going to do well. Every time we have one of our firefighters that advance their medical training, it directly strengthens our workforce. So it's a good thing to have him in there. The American Canyon Fire District also worked with the City of Suisun Fire Department. They had a so I still do the Solano County Ops Chiefs meetings with them, even though I'm no longer in Solano, but because we work so closely with Solano County, they had 13 acquired structures. They were single-story fourplexes that they were tearing down. So it was a long work in progress, but it allowed us to send our engine companies up there, along with the cities of Vallejo, Fairfield, Rio Vista, Vacaville. I think Forest Hill came down for one time, but it gave us some live hands-on training. We did live fire drills for 3 of the days. We had firefighter survival drills, just a bunch of different tactical skills evolutions that we can do up there. And it's something that you can't get without having acquired structures, something that you can actually cut into. And then the nice part is you don't really have to clean up because somebody else is coming to clean up for you. But having that hands-on training is critical. And I commend our crews and our chiefs and the neighboring jurisdictions for allowing us to go up and participate in that training. I'm also a little excited. We had a recent, we're trying to work on getting our American Canyon Fire Explorers and the Police Explorers joint training together. So recently we had hands-only CPR and fire extinguisher use training. So kind of what I love about this is it builds that partnership early on, and the young men and women are learning the life-saving skills that they need to learn at a young age, and also they're building on what it's like to work together in camaraderie between law and fire service, and kind of build on our relationships now that's pretty much going to carry them into their futures with where they're going. This kind of collaboration matters to me. We're going to continue to try to keep the Explorers working together in the future for other training drills, and hopefully the next one will be them teaching us something. So. Switching gears a little bit, we've officially launched our community wildfire prevention program. So I would like to, this plan is proactive, not reactive, but it's about reducing the risks before the next fire starts. And I really want to thank Chair Washington and Beth Marcus representing CERT for coming out and doing the videos today, because those videos will be put on this, the community wildfire program in the future, so you guys' faces are going to be all over it. But thank you very much for your time. And it's already being put into action, so we have on March 21st at 10 a.m. to noon, we'll be hosting co-hosting a home hardening and gardening workshop at the Las Casitas Mobile Home Park with the Napa Communities of Wildfire Foundation. This will give the residents practical hands-on information about defensible space, fire-resistant landscaping, and ways to better protect your homes. And then on Saturday, April 4th, we'll be hosting a community grazing tour with the residents so that they can see the firsthand of the fuel reduction work happening around American Canyon, and the goats that have done an incredible job at incredible work reducing the fine fuels in the areas that are difficult to manage with traditional equipment. It's environmentally responsible and operationally effective. It's important for the public to see that. And if you guys haven't gone out and done the walk last year when they kind of went out there with all the goats and stuff, it's pretty cool to see. And the dog, I forget the dog's name that protects them, but he is definitely a protector. But as you guys are aware, that opens up, some of these areas you're not really supposed to put heavy equipment and stuff in, and it's because it's a natural thing with having the goats in there. It saves a little bit of cost, but it's good for fire management, which is the ultimate goal. When you look at all this together, it reflects the commitment to our long-term preparedness and community safety. So lastly, I would like to thank Laura for her continued work on the CWPP. Laura's not here today, but she was the one that's kind of putting together a lot of these videotapes. And I can't explain how hard both Laura and Martha work in the background to keep the district running smoothly. I thank you both. And that's my update for tonight. I have answer any questions that you guys might have.
Thank you, Chief Campbell. Any question from the board? Seeing none. Any future items for the chief? Also seeing none. Then with that, we have concluded our business for this evening. Good night, American Canyon.